Now that we're in the two-dimensional drawing environment in Inventor, it's important to note a few things before you start drawing. Number one, depending upon the part you're trying to create, you want to start with the basic shapes that make up that part. Don't try to add too many details at once. Think of it as if you were building something for real. You start with a block, you take away pieces of it, maybe drill some holes, grind the corners, whatever needs to be done. That's how you would work with it. You'd start with a block and then add the features to it as you go. In sketch mode, we have a few different things up here on our ribbon. Let's start on the left side and work our way across. We have line, which is very apparent. You click line, select where you want to start. If you start near the center point, it should snap to the center point. Notice the dot turns green. I'm going to start here. Inventor also is very good about snapping to vertical angles. If you notice the block to the lower right of my cursor, it has the vertical red line and the black line. That indicates that this line is at 90 degrees, and it should stay locked to that angle. If I didn't want to make this line at exactly 90 degrees, I would purposely draw it at an angle other than 90 degrees. Obviously horizontal, we have a similar situation there, up and to the right as well. So I want to make this vertical, so I'll click that, and I'll hit escape or right click done in order to finish with my line tool. If I wanted to add a circle, similar situation, I'll click circle. Right now it's measured in radius. However, if I do the drop down, I can do tangent circles, etc. So I'll start with my circle. And notice I don't really care about dimensions. I'm not adding numbers to any of these lines. I'm just drawing my lines. I'm trying to get my basic shape. Next we have arc. That's a 3-point arc tool. 1, 2, and then 3 for our arc. You can dimension that later as well. A rectangle. Rectangle is a little more difficult to use. However, it does prove useful sometimes. Next we'll go to ellipse. Ellipse is radius, radius, and then we just draw our ellipse there. Points. Points are very useful. Points are how we will eventually draw holes. Points just literally leaves a point on the drawing. I can click there, I can click there. One problem with anything that you're drawing in the 2D sketch mode is that, let's say I line up with the end of this line. Can you see the black dashed line there that appears? No matter how far to the left or how far to the right I move from the end of this line, I'm always going to have an attachment to that line automatically. That's called an inferred constraint. So I don't want to have that line up for now. I'm going to just place a point there. Moving along, we have text, polygons, fillets, etc. Project geometry we'll get to later. Dimension. Dimensioning I'll have a separate video on later as well. Constraints, however, are tricky in Inventor when you sketch. I'll have a separate video on those as well. So now that we have our sketch, let's select all that we want, and then we'll delete that for now. And I'm going to start with a circle for my finished sketch. Let's draw our circle. We'll make it roughly the size I want it to be. I want it to be 12 inches, so I'll just click dimension for now. Double click, make that 12 inches, press enter, and now we have our circle. We're going to finish the sketch, and that concludes this video.